coffee and the cappuccino cost us?
What do we think?
Altogether, it was, let's see, 2,750. Yeah, 50.
$3.
$3.
Yeah.
You're not, are you joking? You're joking. It's $18 and something cents Canadian.
For this?
Yeah. I did the conversion. That's how much it's been costing us. And we've been coming here a lot. I'm gonna die laughing. To be honest, it wasn't a shock to me because when I used to live in Toronto, I used to have with it my matcha latte like twice a day. So, I used to go to Starbucks a lot. Although now in Saskatchewan, good luck finding any type of Starbucks or even Tim Hortons or any type of real coffee place in rural Saskatchewan. But obviously he didn't know. But I can't drink instant coffee and all over Guyana. It's just instant coffee. And to me, that's not coffee. I really need brewed coffee to start my day. So yeah, for the full, even though he said after, well, we're not going to come back here again for the full 2 weeks. Yeah, we spent every day, a certain amount every day at Starbucks at Amazonian Mall. Now, the thing is, you can also meet up again with the nicest people from there. This guy was on our first trip in February. He was our one of our tour guides at Wanderlust. He is an incredible tour guide along with the other girl, and it was a great, honestly, it was a great adventure. The people that were on the tour, they were Guyanese, and they were just the funniest. I mean, everybody shows you on the videos one side of Guyanese people, but you also don't get to see that there's some really wonderful, warm, hearted Guyanese people. And one woman, it was a family that stood out to me. The first minute she got on the bus, she just announced, my husband died last year, so I'm here to party. And yeah, I don't know, it's the way she said it. We just all started chuckling. And then at the end of that tour, because it was a boat ride, and it was a really bumpy as hell boat ride, like, I mean, going back, the guy was just speeding and you were getting your like brain shook. Her niece said, well, if I was pregnant, I've just lost my baby. I don't know, you had to be there, but it was a wonderful tour. And I'm gonna say, if you're ever in Guyana to go on a Wanderlust tour, you wouldn't regret it, and it's worth every penny. Okay, now that I did hear, she's screaming get out to someone. Plus it sounds like she's just like, I don't think it's being like snoopy if you're screaming loud enough to hear it. Yeah, she's definitely screaming to the person get out. Oh, I heard fuck you. Was I supposed to repeat that word? it's interesting the arguments you hear late at night and early in the morning. Because last night, I don't know if because they obviously were drinking, so I don't know if her brother was drunk, but it got loud at the Airbnb.
I had some of them.
Huh?
I had some of them.
Yeah? Let's see.
They're like, Aperolas, but individual ones. Where are they? Saskatoon.
What we are going to encounter, guys. Yeah, I feel that, you know, people are very hey big man, are very aware, eh? All right, big boss, you good? Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta say where your mother
Hey, what's up? Sorry?
You gotta say what you can where your mother stand and stop picturing people with your fucking
No. Hey, what happened, man? What do you touch me?
You I
just want to go to the market.
Go with your fucking camera so your mother's stand.
Hey, don't touch me like this, you know.
You can't put up on people then.
I just want to enter the market. What is your problem?
Get around with the camera so don't point your fucking camera in front of me.
Don't touch me, man. I just want to go to the market. I just want to go to the market. I am walking around the market.
Get around with market then, bro. I didn't get that problem with you going to the market. No, your fucking camera where you
I cannot record the market.
You don't understand English?
He's
Go. I understand English, or
I don't understand English, of course. As a tourist, I cannot look at the market. As a tourist, I cannot walk around the market. Shame on you, bro. Shame on you. Shame on you. No, it's bad, you know. I'm just doing a vlog on YouTube. No, I am just like walking around, you know.
Okay, so because some people were defending that man who assaulted the French YouTuber, I asked ChatGPT to investigate for me. Here's what it said. Yes, I found the incident you're referring to. It involved French travel vlogger Anthony, whatever his name is, D'Oliveira, of Jump's Travel Documentary YouTube channel on January 5th, 2026. He was filming around Saffron Street, the market in Georgetown, when an encounter resulted in him being struck. This case is actually useful for answering your earlier question about whether he was legally allowed to film. The man accused of assaulting reportedly told a magistrate that he saw him recording him and asked for the camera not to be on him, and then while attempting to move the camera slapped him. Now, despite the explanation, the authorities did charge the man with assault and using insulting language, and he was granted a 20,000 Guyanese dollars bail while the case proceeded. I think if we looked at the video, I think it clearly settles. I think the courts made a very good decision. If he never asked him to stop. That man was very ill-mannered, acting like the hood and he didn't ask him, "Oh, can you stop filming me?" And that was a direct on slap in the face. Sorry, but that was I think the courts there made a very good decision, but there you go. Well, Anthony speaks very good English. In fact, I understand Anthony way better than I would have to pause and really think about what this guy was saying. But I also investigated laws in Guyana and where is it? With ChatGPT, it said, I could not find a Guyanese law that simply says you cannot photograph or film people who are visible in a public place. That's not the man's home. If it was the man's house, that would be different. But this is a public place. So he didn't, there's no law that said he also needs to get permission first. The man could have asked him politely, but the man is very aggressive. And sorry, he wasn't trying to, an assault, even on a camera, I don't know about there, but even in Canada, like, you know, if that camera is an extension of you and you go to assault the camera, that's an assault. But to me, it looks like a direct attack on Anthony's face. Just saying. But by the way, as you can see, I did slow it down, and it shows that man's hand was directly going for the face. So now this video was already on my phone. It wasn't taken on the same day as the incident that I'm going to tell you. But this supermarket was directly in front of our Airbnb. We had an unpleasant incident in this in the grocery store's parking lot, because they actually had their own private parking lot, and we were in the private parking lot. Now the men were in the private parking lot in front of the store, first began hurling insults about Chinese. Then when Wayne and I walked through were walking to the grocery store door, then they started hurling comments at Wayne, calling him an anti-man. Wayne works out and has a slim athletic build, so he often wears fitted muscle shirts. This is not uncommon for anybody in the Western world. If you know what the gym is, working out, and you know, but because of their accents, I couldn't understand the rest that they were saying, but they did threaten to kill me and us. And one thing I'm not going to do is if someone's going to threaten to kill me, I am going to then, sorry, you're coming to kill me, I'm going to defend myself. I'm not going to sit there and let anybody kill me or anybody I know. But I did tell them, I'm going to say, because when I did start filming, they did stop most of the thing. They stopped trying to come to me, but I did have enough, and I did tell them, pants hanging below your ass, and their pants, all of them, you know, their pants were hanging past their ass, and there were, you know, it was all showing. I said, it isn't considered normal in many places either. Like I said, you know what? I've learned my lesson about transferring videos from, you know, because I had my Sony camera and I was transferring it onto my laptop. So I accidentally deleted those by turning it off too early and couldn't save it. But anyways, just wanted to make people know, you know, this is the situation. And honestly, some people there do have that mentality. I mean, if nobody's bugging you, you don't bug a person, right? But when you confront the person, expect to be confronted back. It's the mentality of some that needs to stop. Now, we took a different tour company, not the tour company we went with in February, to go up to Linden, because I wanted to see, you know, on YouTube they talk about Guyana's only blue water. Well, that water wasn't very blue. I was thinking, well, it's the same color as Lake Ontario. Anyways, while we were on that trip, and by the way, we got to go to Watuka, you know, resort here. But while we were on that trip, again, I encountered, and I've encountered it a few times in Guyana, a lot of hostility to, you know, Chinese. So this woman said, which she was the tour guide, she said the Chinese are very dirty people. And I'm sorry, well, first of all, being half Chinese, I'm going to go, hey, stop right there. But I'm like looking around, you know, you see a lot of the homes also need to be repaired, because she was referring to homes and stuff. And you see people tossing garbage into the trenches. You see people urinating on the road. So I'm like thinking, before you say things like that, can you really think about it? And then when I said to her, well, I'm half Chinese, then she sort of tried to recant it and says, oh, well, I mean the new Chinese coming in. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Supermarket and if I pick up something, but you know what? Guess what? Johnny don't know who's me. Johnny don't know who's me. Oh my God. Johnny don't know who's me. Johnny don't know who's me. Oh, you know what? Johnny don't know who's me. Johnny don't know who's me. Oh my God. Johnny don't know who's me. Johnny don't know who's me. Oh, now I'm gonna pick up one. Yes. Yeah, pick up, yeah, one. Put it in your book.
Now let's talk about the good. In February, we went to Parika, and I loved it. We both loved it. Thought the people were much friendlier than the people in Georgetown. Now, I have heard this, that, regions outside of Georgetown are much friendlier. And the Linden trip we went to, they were supposed to stop and let us walk through the town, but they didn't. So we weren't able to complete that. But on the next visit, I am going to hire the young guy who, drove us back to the airport in both February and on a recent trip. I mean, this guy has a great business ethic for his age, and I'm going to hire him to be our tour guide in Linden. I think that's a better way of doing it.
With yet another massive turnout, the APNU plus AFC Youths for David Granger rolled their unity training to Buxton on the east coast of Demerara Wednesday night. Addressing the issue of division among major races in Guyana was APNU plus AFC candidate and attorney-at-law James Bond, who said the coalition is a multi-ethnic party geared to bringing all Guyanese together.
So Guyana has not been allowed to progress and grow because of division. And this is the message we send to our Indian brothers and sisters. We will not practice race. When we assume government, we're going to love every single one. We're not going to victimize anyone. We will not practice the politics of victimization as the PPC practice.
We got to look after our own. It's we time. Racism in Guyana is a problem, and many people use this to their advantage. But when we talk about racism, we tend to see it remote and far away from us. But am I racist? The moment we start to categorize groups and place them on a scale that says they are better than us or we are better than them, we're guilty. All of them stay so. It's a pack of hooligans, pack of bullies. A good one is a dead one. That is how they stay. We gotta look after our own. It's we time. Y'all just make bad for yourself. Addressing this national problem of racism begins with me. It begins with you. We have to start to think different. Act differently. See all Guyanese as humans. One people, one nation, with one destiny. As Guyanese, let us love one another. Everyone that loveth is born of God and knows God, because God is love.
So, I've had YouTubers who are paid by, who are paid by Guyana, or whatever organization, to go to Guyana to say it's the best place in South America. I've had other people tell me there is no racism in Guyana. Or one person goes, racism in Guyana is equal to racism anywhere. How much have you traveled? Because in all my years, I have never experienced this type of racism that's in Guyana. And one comment said, oh, you're lying. There's no racism. And I said back to her, just even on YouTube, put racism in Guyana and see everything that comes up. And obviously, I got no further response there. The other lady, it was for some Guyanese seminar there. She's blaming the Chinese. I think I said this before, saying they're poisoning our food. They sell Chinese products. Well, I went into Survival, which is in February, which is another supermarket there, and they sell exactly the same products. So I asked her, well, which products is it? because they're exactly the same that you're claiming is poisoning. And she couldn't reply that. But then she said, I can't open a business. I don't have donations to open a business. I'm sorry, but I've never heard of anybody. If you want to open a business, just like my grandfather did back in 1911 when he immigrated from China, you save, you earn, you open your business. No one's going to give you handouts. That's just a reality in life. And as for people, I keep hearing people say Chinese are just taking from Guyana and they don't give back to Guyana. Well, let's take a look at this.
Thank you for this extraordinary opportunity. I look forward to the years ahead, to the doctor I will become, and to the difference I hope one day to make.
I have always and will continue to be open-minded in the future. I know my colleague could relate when I say that the wait has been nerve-wracking, but here we are. And I'm so excited. I've already made plans for when I return again. I really anticipate the time when I can be a strong pillar in the animal health sector alongside my senior veterinarians.
Nearly 100 Guyanese have traveled to China for professional training in fields including agriculture, healthcare, diplomacy, trade, standardization, and digital governance. We also welcomed the launch of Guyana-China Alumni Association earlier this year. It brings together those who have studied or trained in China, helping them stay connected, share experience, and build new partnerships.
You will also see and meet a lot of other foreign students, from Africa, other parts of Asia, from Europe, from South America. And I think you would love it because getting that rich history, that diverse history from all around the world is so important for you to frame and to get that perspective of what the world looks like.
So all you have to do, even if you just put China gives Guyanese scholarships, quite a few videos pop up. It's not just to Guyana, it's to Nigeria, it's in Trinidad. Okay, so all those people who say that Chinese don't give back and they're not doing anything for you, people, critical thinking is important. And you know what's important to future success is education. That is the key to success. Now, racism is sadly passed down from one generation to the next. And, well, going back to my dad's house, there is a school that wanted to rent the lower half of the house and, you know, extend their school into also daycare. And they did offer me money. Now, I don't want the money from them. What I want to do, because I know my mom and my dad would actually be really happy because they were both into education. My dad, who's a chartered accountant and he's really business savvy, and my mom, who was a teacher, and even my aunt, who was a teacher, my uncle was a teacher, right? But my mom especially, you know, education to her was the key to anybody's success. And because hearing her philosophy with the kids and how to bring them up not to be, you know, that whole racist things, to understand that, you know, they're one in the same, like the whole Guyanese culture, all the kids learn that they are one in the same, they share the same culture, I can also stand behind that, and I know my mom would definitely stand behind that. So that space is going to be for the school. Like I said, my parents would be so happy to know that.